We are live from Santa Cruz, California. Hello, my name is Dr. Joe McCullough, and I am here today to share with you some awesome time management tips. Why am I seeing this? Okay, so real quick, my name is Joe. I'm the physics program chair here at Cabrillo College in Santa Cruz, California, and I'm getting on scope every single day for a year to educate, motivate, and inspire. Topic for today and for the last few days has been time management tips. Awesome phone just called. I hope this is still live. If people can still see me, somebody please give me a thumbs up at Maca 48. Okay, other people are joining, so we must be live. Again, the topic for today is awesome time management tips to help you get the most out of your 86,400 seconds, because that's all the time we get every single day. Nobody gets more time than anybody else. The question then is, why do some people get so much more done with their time than other people? And the answer is simply, people that are more productive have learned how to use their time more effectively. And the key word there is learned. Time management is not a skill we were born with, it's a skill we have to learn. Let's go through the 4 tips I covered the last couple days, and then we'll get 2 more. Thank you for the hearts. Welcome to everybody just joining the broadcast. We're talking about awesome time management tips. First tip is apply the 80-20 principle. 80-20 principle says the following. 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts. These are our high value tasks. As you can see from the smiley face, these are the tasks that we want to be spending most of our time with. The other side to this 80-20 principle, hey Joe, did you use these tips at fraternity meetings? No. Hey Dennis, I did not quite use these tips back then. Actually, I did use some of them. The flip side of the 80-20 principle is the other 80% of our efforts only produce 20% of our results. These are our low value tasks, and as you can see from the unhappy face, these are what we want to avoid. Some of them are necessary, but the majority of our results actually come from a minority of our efforts. These are where we want to be spending most of our time. One of the cornerstones of time management is figuring out which of your tasks are low value, which are high value. Second tip I went through, spare minutes. This is a big one. Spare minutes are like little gifts of time. Any time that you spend commuting or waiting in line or waiting for an appointment or sometimes even just cleaning the bathroom, you can be using to learn a new skill or subject. I highly recommend using your iPhone, using your smartphone, putting all sorts of interesting podcasts and educational trainings and things like that. I love to listen to motivational speakers. Tip number 3. Thank you for those chocolate brown hearts, whoever that is. Plan your day. And when you're planning your day, you want to plan it on paper and you want to plan it the night before. Actually write down what you need to accomplish. And here's a great question to ask yourself. What is the most important thing I need to accomplish tomorrow? It's a high value task. What is the most important thing I need to accomplish tomorrow? And also, what are a couple other things I need to accomplish? If you're working on a big goal, I would actually choose 2 or 3 or 4 things to get done in a day. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many things. Next time management tip, this was tip number 4, schedule your power hour. Now, everybody tends to work better at a certain time of the day. For me, I'm a night owl. I tend to work better late at night. For some people, it's early in the morning. What about motivation? David from Spain. I'll talk a little bit about motivation, but real quick, if you know your reason why, then the easier the how is going to be. One of my favorite quotes, the bigger your why, the easier your how. So in terms of motivation, really think about what's in it for me. Okay, getting back to scheduling your power hour. This is a 1-hour block of time where you're getting rid of all external distractions. No cell phones, no texting, no Periscope, no Facebook, anything like that. And you're studying in short, focused bursts of attention. What I recommend is 25 minutes on, meaning 25 minutes of focused, detailed work where you're not looking at anything that's not dealing with the task at hand. Then take a 5-minute break. I recommend getting up, stretching, hydrating, getting a light snack, then another 25 minutes on, focused attention, no distractions, and then a 5-minute break. In that 60 minutes, you're going to be getting 50 solid minutes of focused attention. And if you haven't really done this before, you'll be amazed at how productive you can be when you get rid of all electronics and you focus intently for a period of time. And 25 minutes is a good amount of time because the brain starts to get fatigued after a while. Before I move on with tips 5 and 6, let me quickly pause. What questions are out there that I can answer about time management? Talked about the 80-20 principle, planning your day on paper. What else have I talked about? Scheduling your power hour. And the other thing was using your spare minutes. Any questions I can answer? Going once, going twice. Sold for no hearts and no questions. Okay, time management tip number 5 is prepare your state. Notice you'll see a little MEP, mental, emotional, and physical. What you want to do before you sit down and actually work for an hour is prepare your state, warm up. All great athletes know that you need to warm up before a game or match. Not many people think about warming up their brain. And in fact, spending just 5 or 10 minutes getting your brain in the optimal brainwave state, which I'll talk about in a later scope, can literally double your learning. Pretty cool, huh? So here's a few things to think about in preparing your state. 1, you want to make sure your workplace is organized. Before you sit down for a power hour where you're really going to work intently for an hour, make sure everything is organized. You have all the material you need. Do you have the set result for the day? Do you have the set result for the day? I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. I'll come back to that. 2, you want to be mentally prepared. Do not sit down to work if you're feeling anxious or stressed or angry or disappointed. Your time is better well spent making sure that you're mentally prepared. In a later scope, I'm going to share with you something called the alpha state process. It's a great process I lead all of my students through before every quiz or celebration. It's designed to get your brain in the alpha brainwave state, which is the optimal state for learning. But for now, you can just spend about 5 minutes before you start to work and make sure you're feeling relaxed and confident and you know what you want to get out. And that's the 3rd thing. Know your outcome and your why. What do you want to get accomplished in this hour or this hour and a half? And why is it important to you? Do you have to set objectives for the day? I don't like to say have to, but I think to choose to set objectives for the day is a great practice. Set them the night before, and then as soon as you wake up, read through your plan for the day, the objectives that you want to get accomplished. And this is really useful because long-term planning improves short-term decision-making. If you know what you have to get done, then you're going to be more focused. Okay, and the 6th and final time management tip so far is practice proactive procrastination. That's a mouthful. Say it one more time. Practice proactive procrastination. If you're out there watching, say it to yourself. Practice proactive procrastination. What this means is that every time you say yes to doing something, by default, you're automatically saying no to doing other things. Practicing proactive procrastination means saying no to the low-value tasks that produce the minority of our results, and instead procrastinating them to later, never working on a low-value task when you have high-value tasks that need to be done, especially during your power hour. What I recommend is as soon as you start, you work on your high-value tasks and you don't do anything else until it's finished. Okay, that was 6 quick tips. Let me review them one more time. I know I tend to recap a lot, but let me tell you that repetition, active recall, spaced repetition I'll be talking about. These are the keys to unlocking your brain and short-term memory. And you'll see that I use visuals because visual memory is our strongest. In fact, 50% of your brain's resources are spent processing, analyzing, and storing visual data. Okay, we have the 80-20 principle. Know which of the 80% of your results come from 20% of our efforts. Know what those are. Those are high value tasks. Focus your time and energy on those. 2, think about how you're going to use your spare minutes. Use your commute, use waiting in line to be more productive, to learn. I love to listen to motivational speakers, trainings, and things like that on my iPhone. 3, plan your day, plan it on paper, and plan it the night before. 4, schedule your power hour. This is 1 hour every single day when you're going to work intently, focused, getting rid of all external distractions. Think about 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Also, prepare your state. Before you start, prepare your mental, emotional, and physical states. What you can do is make sure your workplace is organized, make sure you're mentally prepared. Do not study if you're stressed or anxious or stressed, or anxious or stressed, or anxious or stressed. If you're not in a good mental state, you're not going to be as productive. Your time is better well spent spending 5 minutes just relaxing and getting into an optimal mental state. And then last but not least, practice proactive procrastination. You cannot do it all. What you want to do is procrastinate on the low value tasks and make sure you don't work on a low value task while there's still high value tasks to be done. For those of you still here, let me quickly just tell you that my name is Joe McCullough. I'm getting on Periscope every single day for an entire year and giving daily doses of education, motivation, and inspiration. Woohoo! Hey, Neuron MD44, welcome. I'm going to be talking about many things. As you can tell, this one is about time management. I'm also going to be sharing some really cool physics demos and magic tricks. Thanks, you are very welcome. But my obsession is the brain and how people learn, and I spent the last decade really immersing myself in neuroscience research, figuring out as a teacher how I can better get my students to learn. So next week, I'm going to be starting a great series on 5 important facts you need to know about your brain. These are facts that once you really understand them and start to apply them, you'll see that everything in your life can be easier and blah, 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 more productive. Did you post your video on how and why the bowling ball did not hit your face? I saw the video where you did the demo. Yes, so all of my scopes I'm archiving on YouTube. If you want to look them up, it's Joe McCullough, McCullough, and that's at YouTube. And usually there are a couple days. I'm on day 15. I posted up to day 12. I'll update it this weekend. That's it. Thank you so much. My name is Joe. I'm from Santa Cruz, California, and I look forward to catching you in future scopes. If you'd like to follow me, please swipe to the right on an iPhone, swipe straight up on an Android, click the little follow button, and if you think your followers would appreciate these scopes, please share. I look forward to every time the message goes off and that's one of your videos. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everybody. I appreciated you spending some time with me, and I'll catch you out tomorrow. And actually, I might throw in a little bonus broadcast tonight. I'm going to go to Santa Cruz Beach and play some volleyball, and Smash Mouth is playing free live concert on the boardwalk. So you can check that out, but I will see you tomorrow with some good content. I'm going to be sharing 1 or 2 more time management tips. Until then, I'm Joe.